The fires licked the night sky, blackening it beyond even the clouds' reach. From his post atop the crumbling Aurelian Wall, Gaius Marcellus watched the northern horizon shudder with the movement of men. Not Roman legions, but the wild tide of barbarians pouring toward the city. Their war horns shrieked across the Tiber, a sound like the earth itself cracking. The old stones beneath him, once the pride of Roman engineering, trembled with every distant blow. Cracks spread like veins through marble and mortar. Statues of forgotten gods lined the walls, their faces eroded by time, now seeming to grimace at the chaos coming to reclaim them. He tightened his grip on his rusted gladius. His armor, once polished and proud, hung from his shoulders like a leaden shroud. Rome, the eternal city, had become a ghost before the first blade was drawn. The Senate bickered in abandoned halls. The people fled, clutching scraps of gold and hope. Only the old, the desperate, and the damned remained. At his side, a boy named Lucan huddled under a battered shield, too large for him. He couldn't have been more than 14, another child of a city that no longer had the strength to protect its own. "Why do they come?" the boy whispered, as if a loud speech might hasten the city's fall. Gaius stared out at the sea of torches bobbing toward them. "Because we are weak," he wanted to say. "Because Rome forgot how to be Rome." Instead, he ruffled Lucan's dusty hair and said, "Because the world is always hungry, boy. And tonight, it feasts." A gust of wind carried the scent of smoke and decay. Below the wall, the grand forum lay eerily silent. Once the heart of the empire, it was now a graveyard of memories. Broken columns casting long, skeletal shadows. Temples standing empty under the sickly light of a dying moon. The Senate House doors swinging open and shut in the breeze like the jaws of a great beast. The wall shuddered under the first blows of a battering ram. Somewhere, a woman screamed, not from fear, but in fury. Gaius smiled grimly. There was still fight left in some. They retreated down the wall, making their way through the narrow alleys behind the city's ancient heart. Their boots splashed through rainwater, pooled in the cracked stones of the Via Sacra. Past them loomed the hulking forms of the Colosseum, its arches yawning like hollow eyes, and the baths of Caracalla, now silent tombs of steaming grandeur, turned to cold, empty ruins. Inside a ruined basilica, they paused. The mosaics overhead, scenes of Roman victories long forgotten, still shimmered with faint color in the torchlight. Lucan stared up in awe. "Was it always like this?" he asked. "No," Gaius said. "Once we thought it would last forever." The ram struck again, and the wood of the gate began to splinter. Gaius stepped back into the night. He lit a small brass lantern and hung it from a broken spear jammed into the ground. A tiny light in an ocean of darkness. Not a signal for help. There was none coming, but a statement. We are still here. The last defenders, graybeards, boys, and broken soldiers, gathered around him under the shadow of a triumphal arch. Carvings of old emperors and parades stared down from the marble, as if judging them. Dust and bits of stone rained down as the city's bones gave their final sighs. The gates burst open. Gaius raised his sword, and the last sons of a dying world roared their defiance. Above them, the last lantern of Rome burned against the night, trembling but unbroken,